He's falling in the water!
Luckily, Thomas wasn't hurt, and the fish freight car stayed on the tracks. When Sir Topham Hatt heard the news, he checked his timetable. Arthur is the nearest engine. I'll send him right away. It was a hot day. The ice that was keeping the fish cold started to melt. I hope someone comes quickly, moaned Thomas. That fish will spoil soon. Arthur was surprised to see Thomas in the tidal pool. Are you all right, Thomas? No, but I'll be much better when you take these fish away. The breakdown van will be here soon, called Arthur's driver. Arthur knew he had to hurry. He raced along the line to the docks and arrived there just in time. Later, Arthur went to see Thomas at the fitter's yard. Thank you for helping me, said Thomas. Thank you, said Arthur. I wish I had the fishing village line all the time. Well, please tell Sir Topham Hatt, because I don't like fish. That evening, Sir Topham Hatt came to the sheds. I need an engine to go to the fishing village while Thomas is being repaired, he said. Any volunteers? Me, Arthur blurted out. And please, sir, may I run on that line all the time? Thomas doesn't like fish, but I do. Then the line is yours, said Sir Topham Hatt. Arthur was delighted. The next morning, he puffed into the fishing village right on time. The smell of fish was everywhere, but he was sure he had the most beautiful line on the island of Sodor. Thomas has several loads today. First, he must take a load of eggs to the village. There are 2 tracks Thomas could take. One track is long and flat. The other track is bumpy. Thomas knows that eggs break easily. Which route do you think he should take? Yes, the long, flat track. It's much safer for moving the eggs. Thomas is taking care. Now Thomas has a load of chickens to take to the farm. There are 2 tracks Thomas could take. He could take the fast main line, or he could take the slower branch line. Thomas knows that chickens get frightened if they are moved too quickly. Which track do you think he should take? Yes, the slow branch line. It's much better for moving the chickens. Thomas is taking care. Now Thomas has to take this sailboat to the harbor. There are 2 tracks Thomas could take. He could take the windy track along the cliffs, or he could take the still, calm track through the valley. Thomas knows the sailboat could tip over in a high wind. Which track do you think he should take? Yes, the still, calm track through the valley is much safer for moving the sailboat. Thomas is taking care. Thomas knows being a really useful engine is being a really careful engine. Rheneas and the Dinosaur. Rheneas and Skarloey are the best of friends. They love working together. And they enjoy shunting freight cars. They biff them, and they bash them all day long. That summer, some men from the Sodor Museum had found some very old bones. When they put the bones together, they made the skeleton of a dinosaur. That morning, a photographer arrived on the island to photograph the dinosaur. Thomas was to take him to the transfer yards. At the transfer yards, Mr. Percival was talking to his engines.
The dinosaur will soon be ready to go to the Sodor Museum, Mr. Percival said. I will need 2 very careful engines to collect it.
Rheneas and Skarloey were very excited.
We can be really careful, puffed Rheneas. Watch.
Rheneas shunted some freight cars gently together. But Skarloey was too excited to be careful. The narrow gauge controller was cross.
Rheneas and Skarloey, you are not careful engines, Mr. Percival said. I will have to choose 2 other engines to collect the dinosaur. But I can be careful, said Rheneas. Let me try again, please.
Very well, Mr. Percival said. But this is your last chance.
Thank you, sir, said Rheneas happily.
Skarloey was sad.
I'm sorry I biffed the freight cars, he whistled quietly. But I'm sure we could take the dinosaur together. No, said Rheneas. I'll show Mr. Percival I could do it on my own.
And he steamed away. Later, Rheneas had to take some coal to the station houses. The cars were very heavy for him on his own. His pistons pounded, and his axles ached. But Rheneas kept going.
Must take the dinosaur. Must take the dinosaur, he puffed.
Later at the transfer yards, Mr. Percival came to see Rheneas.
Rheneas, you have worked very hard today, said Mr. Percival kindly, and pulled very heavy freight cars, very carefully on your own.